Hello, beautiful people. This is Kim Jayde, and we are right here in Times Square in the heart of New York City. And this is Kickin' It with Kim Jayde.
Ain't no stopping me. It's a strong going robbery. It's been many on the patch, had to copy me. But you need design on your feet just to walk with me. Ain't no stopping me. It's a strong going robbery. They can't do it for me.
On this season of Kickin' It with Kim Jayde, we are traveling all over America and South Africa, interviewing some of the most interesting personalities in music, in fashion, in art, and of course in sneaker culture.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got him picking up the pieces.
Hello, beautiful people. You're watching another episode of Kickin' It with Kim Jayde, and today we are in the beautiful home of an absolute icon, the godfather of urban streetwear. Karl Kani, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. How's everything?
Thank you for having us in your home. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Slice of heaven.
There you go.
Okay. I am dying to hear a little bit of your come-up story. If you could share it with us from New York all the way to here.
Yeah, so my come-up story, you know, you're never gonna get a story more realer than Karl Kani, because like, there was nobody before us that had a blueprint to say, okay, this is how you do it.
Yep.
This is where you get your fabric from. This is how you market your clothing. We was just doing everything. We just took our street knowledge and applied it to business, right? So we understood that we are the culture, that we made people like what we like.
Yes.
When we were going to the stores back in the days, there was no black designers. There was no oversized clothing.
Yep.
There was none of us represented. So we had two choices at that point. We could either complain about it or do something about it. So the fact that I used to get my clothes made by a tailor kind of started me on that realm. When I first started getting my clothes made, my intention wasn't to be a clothing designer. I was just making clothes to be cool.
Yeah.
But as my friends started wearing the clothes, I got so many compliments on it. I was really like, wow, this
could
really
be
cool.
a thing, yeah.
This could be something here. But I would tell you something, the most important day of my life was one day back in 1987, 88. Most important day. I was making some clothes for some guys in the projects, and I was bragging to these girls, telling them that I made the outfits for these guys. They didn't believe me, right? Girl named Keisha. So the guy named Joe had on one of my outfits. I said, I made that outfit for him. She's like, no, you didn't. She says, tell him to come over here then. So Joe comes over.
Yeah.
She says, Joe, can I see your jacket?
Yeah.
And I don't know why she asked. I don't know where she was going with the story. She starts looking at it. She's like, if Karl made it, how come his name ain't on it then? And that's when it hit me. I was not trying to be a designer. The last thing on my mind was put my name on the clothing, because again, there was nobody before.
No one had done it.
No one did this.
It was all understated.
Yeah.
The little tag inside the jacket.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any tag. I was just making custom-made clothes with no name on it.
For sure.
And we were just accustomed to buying Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren. And when you see designers like that do it, you figure, okay, that's just for the white guys. That's not for us, right? So when she made that comment to me, I went home, I was like, man, I gotta think of a name for my brand.
Wow.
So I went home, I started thinking, my father changed our name to an American last name, to Williams. To stay,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was like, Karl Williams Jeans. Just didn't have a ring to it.
Yeah.
Like, can I, was a question I used to ask myself all the time. Can I be successful? Can I come from the inner city and build a clothing brand? And so that's when I decided to call it Karl Kani, and hence, that was the beginning of streetwear fashion. There's no other designer that could ever say, yo, we started streetwear before Karl Kani. It's not factual.
Yep.
Because we are the blueprint to success
Exactly.
on streetwear. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if the culture wasn't behind my brand, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Urban clothing, no, it ain't urban clothing, it's clothing. Clothing for the universe. Worldwide. What I'm saying, he set the trend. He taking this thing here overseas to the underground, to the pop world, to the rock world. It can't be stopped. You did Karl Kani and Snoop Dogg, the two big figures. It's like Godzilla and King Kong in the same motion picture.
Almost the perfect timing that we came out with the clothing, the right fit.
Yep.
Music was just coming popular. Hip hop music was growing.
Yep.
Hip hop music needed a designer that's gonna embrace the culture.
Ooh.
So we did embrace it by doing ads with Biggie, Tupac, Nas, Dr. Dre, Snoop, and the list goes on. So perfect timing, perfect collection, hence the beginning of streetwear fashion.
Iconic.
Yeah.
You are a pioneer and an innovator in so many ways. As you said, you know, it had never been done before, the logos everywhere. Also, to be the first, I believe you're the first designer and brand to have an all-black sales force. You are also behind the baggy jean, which is an iconic staple in any man's urban streetwear collection and closet. you touched on these iconic people that you have featured in your campaigns. Today, we've seen the likes of the Migos, Ariana Grande, Burna Boy, who's our African giant that we love, Glorilla wearing Karl Kani. But the early days, you had the most iconic people that are starring in your campaigns. Can you tell us firsthand what it was like working with the likes of Pac and Biggie and Aaliyah? I mean, these are legends to us now, but you personally worked with them one-on-one and they starred in your campaign. So tell us about working with them.
Absolutely.
What was it like?
Work with these artists back then is such a blessing. And you know, back then we were all just very young and trying to figure things out.
Yes.
And you didn't really realize how iconic the moment was.
When you were in it.
Living in that moment, you know what I'm trying to say? But it was almost like hip hop needed a clothing designer and he needed hip hop.
Yes.
And the two relationships I could tell you about was Aaliyah and Tupac, which are two special relationships that we had. We worked with Aaliyah and her mom, and that jacket you have on, we designed this for Aaliyah. And she wore it on her album cover for 1 in a Million. And she also wore Karl Kani sweatshirt on her first album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Numbers, yo. So we had a great relationship with her, and she had her input into the jacket as well. She has really good ideas. She picked out the colors, and we kind of designed the logos for that. So that relationship was really good. And Tupac, this one was different because Tupac used to wear my clothes all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And I really wanted to meet him. And I couldn't, you know, back then there was no cell phone, so I didn't have his phone number,
Yeah.
but there's no way to contact him.
Yeah.
So we contacted the record company, and they says, okay, Tupac's gonna be at the Hotel Nico in Beverly Hills at this time. We can set up a meeting for you to meet him. So I go to his room and meet him, and he knocks on the door. Tupac says, come in. And he's typing a script to a movie, right? And he never looked up at me, but he's having a very intelligent conversation, but he never looked at me. So I was like, we talking about black culture, hip hop, and he's like that, but really good conversation, but he would never look up.
Yeah.
And finally I'm like, cause I wanted to ask him to do a clothing ad for me, but I didn't know when to ask him, how to ask
To
him.
feel it out.
To feel him
to
out.
be the right moment.
Yeah, but when someone's not looking at you, it's
You
hard.
can't read it, right? Yeah.
And he's a Gemini like me too, so he's trying to figure out. So he's in his room, he's smoking some marijuana, blunt after blood, and he didn't pass it, by the way. He's just like,
He just kept it to himself.
so. And I remember room service came to knock on the door. He ordered some room service. And I was like, okay, this is my chance. I'm gonna ask him now. And I remember the room service guy knocked on the door and he put a towel over his mouth with someone smoking in the room. He brings the food in. So I was like, yo, Pac. And he got really quiet. I said, yo, Pac, how much would you charge me to do an ad? And he gets really quiet. He didn't say nothing, right? It felt like an hour. He just sat there quiet. And he goes, man, I ain't gonna charge you nothing. You black. I don't charge my people for nothing. And I was like, really? He said, yeah, man. He says, matter of fact, I got this idea. Then he changed. Then he turned into a whole different. Then he started visually creative directing the campaign right then and there. He says, yo, I want to do this ad for you. I want to be on top of a basketball rim in Harlem wearing a Karl Kani. And I also want to take, I want to do one in the bathroom or sit on the toilet and the Karl Kani drawers, like Karl Kani's the shits. I was like, Pac is crazy, man. And ever since then, we became really good friends, and Pac was such a big supporter of my brand.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember when Pac got shot in New York at Quad Studio, right? His first magazine ad he did was in the Vibe magazine, right? He was on the cover. And one of the questions they asked him was, Pac, like, how did you feel when you got shot? He's like, I didn't know I was shot. All I know, I could feel the heat of the bullet pierce to my Karl Kani drawers. Wow. And I was like, Pac, is he named? Is he like product endorsement during the ad? And they asked you how you got shot, but that's how real Pac was. Yeah, he's a real one, and it's like, he'll never be replaced again. I really honor Tupac because like he's one of the main reasons why our brand is so popular in Europe, because they worship him and they see the kids see him wear my brand. They see it's not no paid endorsement. It's like a real connection.
Real partnership was
so it was real cool. So big ups to Pac for that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
You've gone from Carl Williams, Karl Kani in Brooklyn to now the brand's in over 25 locations across Europe, 13 stores in Asia. It's Japan?
Japan, yeah.
Yeah? I mean, it's massive to think that a young black designer could do that and now go global. Now you're sitting here overlooking the most incredible view in California. You look at the news, the top fashion labels. all over music and sport. Hip hop is everywhere. Urban culture is everywhere. The head designer of Louis Vuitton, man, Pharrell. How does it feel watching, and I'm sure we've still got miles to go, right? But how does it feel watching people of color and urban culture take over the world in such a big way?
I love it. I love that people are getting recognition now. The thing that I do want to see though now is more ownership.
Yes.
I'm trying to say, like, you know, I own my brand 100%. We even had offers back in the days to sell out. Never wanted to sell out. You know, a lot of the urban brands from the 90s, they all sold their brands and stuff like that. So, you know, money's the root to all evil sometimes. Sometimes all money's not good money. I want to see ownership because a lot of times they take from the culture and utilize us for a certain extent to build up what's theirs. Trying to say.
True.
So we are the flame lighting the fire for their brands. And the perception is if we're running the things, we own it, but we really don't own it.
True.
So I want to get to the point where more Black designers actually own their products and we're supporting people that really own their products 100%. And then and only then can I say that we're really taking a big step forward in this business. You know
That
what I'm
is
saying?
so true.
I'm not complaining about where things are now. This is better. It's
progress.
It's progress, you know what I'm saying? But the idea should be ownership. And when I say ownership, whoever owns the trademark owns the brand. You feel me? Like, just being a licensing or doing an endorsement deal is not ownership. Own that trademark, own that brand, then we on to something in a real way.
What is your advice for that young Black designer that's starting out and investing in just a tee? Like they're starting with their first tee, they're making a little bit of merch here and there. Your best advice would be to start, obviously, register the trademark.
Register trademark, number one, because what you don't want to do is get your brand popular, your name popular, somebody else go out and register your name.
Yep.
That has happened before too. Like sometimes brands will blow up in the US. You got these sharks in Europe and China who will just go register your name and there's nothing you can do about it. Once they register your name, they own that name.
Wow.
And you have to sometimes have to buy your name back from them and negotiate and things like that. So think full circle and get your name brand registered. And always remember, this game and this business is not a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in it for the long run because not every day is gonna be your best day. Trying to say, but those are the ones who wants it really bad will understand how the game gets played, meaning like, find something positive today to keep you going towards tomorrow. Things will get better, but you have to believe that first. You know, it's very easy to not believe. It's very easy to quit. You know, that's the easy road. Join the club of the quitters.
Yep.
But the ones who could withstand that and wake up tomorrow and still stay motivated, those are the ones who could be on the best road to success.
Completely. I see so many designers and brands nowadays popping up and doing collaborations with these massive brands, right? So the big brands see, oh, yo, this is popping, young, fresh, and cool. Let's do a collab with them. Can you give us some advice or insight into how you would go about having those conversations? Because the bigger brand that has more money often comes into those conversations with more leverage and can kind of bully the small guys. What advice could you give to those kinds of people going into those collaboration discussions so they don't get screwed over?
No, I get that. So what I would say is this. If it's a huge brand and they have a big audience and your brand may have a little swelling, but you want to grow bigger, I wouldn't turn down an offer if it's a short-term offer because you got to look at the bigger picture. What you want is to get your brand name into that bigger audience. So I'm trying to say, again, once it's not no long-term deal, it's a short-term, commitment. Who cares? That's publicity for your brand.
For sure.
You want to make your brand bigger.
Exposure,
So you have to take advantage of that. So as you're doing this collaboration, you want to make sure everyone that's liking your photos on their page, you contacting them and say, hey, I'm the designer, this is my brand. It's a hustle game. I'm saying it's all a hustle game. So you got to find the positive light of everything to make things pop. And so like I would say, once it's not long term, go for it and just reap the benefits for yourself.
Stunning.
Absolutely.
Perfection.
Yeah.
How does one nowadays work with a brand like Karl Kani?
Yeah, I mean, we always open for business, you know what I'm saying? Like, we love to do collaborations with cool people. Our last big collaboration was Etudes out of Paris, which was an amazing collaboration. Love that. Those guys are amazing people over there. And I asked them, like, what's up with this collaboration? Why do you want to do it? They said, look, we want to do streetwear, and we know nobody else better than Originator to go through to do streetwear. So it was an amazing collaboration of both of us. You know, they had our stuff in Saks, Neiman's, Barney's, t-shirts for $500. The quality was great. So it really helped our brand out to really escalate it somewhat for that level. Yeah.
So those collaborations make sense for both of you.
Absolutely.
They get the street cred, and then you get also
the exposure,
additional exposure.
Additional exposure from another high-end customer who may have heard of Karl Kani, but now it's become cooler now because a brand they like is wearing it. So those type of things work out.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What is the legacy you hope to leave behind? I mean, look, you've already, I mean, there's no one touching you in 2025, you know? All the way from 1989, all the way through, working with icons that you will never ever see again, making history, being a pioneer and an innovator. Already, you have an iconic legacy. But you personally, when you leave this earth, how do you hope people think of you? What is the legacy?
Hands down, the one thing that I want to be remembered as is the person that broke down the barriers, opened the doors up for everyone. Like I said, and I take this to heart, like when people talk about streetwear, because a lot of kids today don't even know where streetwear started from. They just think it's been around.
Yeah.
Think it was here, like it's always been like this. No, it wasn't like this. Now, I want people to really understand what we went through at the time to break down these barriers, what we had to do. We had to convince people that there's another alternative to Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, Giorgio Armani, Donna Karan, Levi's. We had to show them that you could be young, Black, from the streets, produce high quality product, be able to compete, and that Karl Kani, we opened the doors up for black salespeople, for Black designers, for Black models that didn't exist.
Yeah.
All those things started from somewhere that didn't exist before. You know what I'm trying to say? Those are the things that we want to be remembered as for what we started, what we did, and what we attributed towards this culture.
And you've done that. There is absolutely no question.
And we're not done yet, because you know what I heard? I heard that there's life on Mars. And if there is, we're gonna set up our first shop on Mars and beat everybody to that punch. So we'll be the first designer on Mars.
They're gonna have baggy jeans, crazy nice sneakers in Mars.
You know what I'm saying?
And we need to make an Africa link up happen. Like we need to do a pop-up, something. Like if I can get the space and
you
the
get
sponsor.
the space, I'm doing it.
It's on camera. Okay, I'm gonna bring Karl Kani to Africa. We're gonna make it happen.
We gotta do that.
I think we have to.
Yes.
I mean, hello.
We've been talking about it. It's mandatory.
We have. I mean, when COVID was happening and we were doing all these IG lives, Karl jumped on an IG live with me, and you will not believe the amount of fans you have in Africa that understand what you've done for the culture that can't get a piece of you. So to have, I mean, just to be wearing the Aaliyah jacket, Karl Kani sneakers sitting next to you in your home, major. I think we need to take a piece of that back to South Africa.
I'm down. Let's do it.
It's happening.
For sure.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
you are amazing.
This was amazing.
Such a joy.
You are the best. Thank you for coming.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Easy.
That's right. That's right.
Amazing. That was so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Check it. This is Karl Kani in the house without a doubt. Straight out of Brooklyn, New York. Coming to South Africa. 2026. Karl Kani is coming through, bringing all the original styles for New York. Worldwide. That's how we get down, right?
You heard it right here first. Hello, it's happening.
That's right.
Yes.
Lock in, lights, camera, action. Telly, SPN, it's a top scene. Lock in, lights, camera, action. I don't fold them.
Welcome to Kickin' It with Kim Jayde. We are sitting with Courtney Paul, the one and only in Zanzi. We're back. You actually can walk in and be like, I'm that bitch. But you're not. So that's number one.
I always say, like, South Africa has the most, like, the deepest pool of raw talent. Like, you don't know what door's gonna open up. And the reason of me trying that specifically was that I got to do a hip hop solo.